recording. Now I'm recording this lecture right now, even though I'm not sure how long it would take for the software to shut down. Please, students, once Zoom's shut down automatically, we restart the lecture soon after we get back to it. Okay? And Kati Akujetowa, Dubara, Haman Shewaz Hatino Juro, Bahaman Shewaz, كلاسيكا بوي تواوي كاين لكتشر كمان وهمو ساعات تقريبا يعني بابلين همو 10 دقيقة رستي ورا جرين أو 5 دقيقة زيادة نبي يعني همو ساعات بس شون كسوفت وير كا تحديد كراو 10 دقيقة لبر أوا ناكينا ساعات أي كينا 10 دقيقة همو 10 دقيقة 5 دقائق أجا حزة كان ساعات يكين ودسي بيا كينا اما خدمان پیشتر بس دوباره کمان review so that you can recall what shear stress is about and how we calculate it. So the most important thing that we know that shear stress distribution along the cross section looks like this. Ama shear stress distribution. Yeah, Blaine tau. Shear stress distribution, and this is on the left side is bending stress, or the stress due to bending moment. The stress, which is called normal stress, is called normal stress, and this is how it looks like. Okay.
أستاذ ببورا كاكرازونا دي أوي من ورناقري تناقر أدمين كيبي زمان
بلى
كاكرازوان أليتنا أوي من ورناقري تن
چی ورناقري
أو أدميني كلا لا يخوت
كردوما. Okay, so in this PowerPoint slide, we have two topics. The first one would be shear stress and how the shear stress is distributed within the cross section, and how we can calculate with a formula, of course, how we calculate shear stress, okay, at any given point. And then the second topic would be about shear flow. So we have to understand what is the difference between shear stress and shear flow. Shear stress, as I've mentioned earlier in this slide, as I've mentioned in the previous slide, the shear stress distribution, you've seen that the shear stress is distributed along the cross section. Slide جامي. The shear stress as I've mentioned to you, is the distribution, shear stress distribution along the cross section. But shear flow is not about the shear stress distribution. Shear flow, it means كالين shear flow يعني رئة أو shear. شون بتشي تي again shear flow if you have a simply supported beam like this one, okay, and you apply a load, okay, and that beam is not made up of one single plank يعني ديك parçة. We have 3 planks of wood on top of each other. 3 planks of wood. We have 3 planks of wood laid on top of each other. This is number 1, this 2, and this is the third one. Okay, so these planks, if you apply a point load at midspan, you will see that the planks, each plank individually, will slide on top of each other. So there is a force that is called shear flow, a force that pushes, outward. The forces, it goes outward from the neutral axis, outward, okay, pushes the plank so that when it gets bent You see the plank on the top has a bit on the side. If you look at the side, you see that the plank is longer than the plank which is beneath it, and so forth for the first one. Why is it? Why this shape has taken place? Because of the shear flow. So shear flow is not across the cross section, uh, but shear flow is along the longitudinal axis of the beam. Yani, this is the longitudinal axis. This is an x-axis, okay? So the shear flow is along the x-axis, while the shear stress is along the y-axis, okay? This is y-axis, this is x-axis. So the shear would be along the longitudinal, yani along the beam. Shear flow, it moves along the beam, okay? Uh, uh, we move to the next slide. It's a bit slow. I don't know why it's not moving easily. Okay. Amash basman kırgı piyiştir. Piyislaka basikein. Then we come immediately to the formula of shear stress. How we calculate shear stress? Uh, we have uh, this formula. Okay. We have this tau is the shear stress. Sorry, and this is the shear force. The shear stress unit is megapascal. Megapascal, which is Newton over millimeter square. Shear force is kilonewton. We convert it into Newton. A Q is moment of area. Usually is millimeter, okay, to the power 3, okay, cubic millimeter. And I is moment of inertia. I is moment of inertia. I is moment of inertia about neutral axis, okay, and the unit usually is what? Millimeter to the power 4, okay, and T is the section width T. Yani if you have this section, I guess section ekiwaman heavier, okay, section width teka amaya, or T pialan T, okay. So this formula with which we use it to calculate the shear stress at any given point. At any given point. I wish basi manker. Example for circular section. Çok away PVC به هندی شتایا centroid circle design لكوينيا skip yakin bo wiki example. وش باس ما كردو example داواكاري example determine the stress distribution, the shear stress distribution over the cross section of the beam. Is all about you calculate the shear stress. Is a simple question. Just apply the formula for each point. Rate you want to calculate. Immediately we know you don't need to calculate. In fact, immediately you know, immediately you know how much. أول دقة كمان واتوا بها stop